Here goes the water leaving Boulder Harbor again.
Oh no, you gotta wear a life vest next time.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh.
Come on. Howdy, howdy. Hello out there in TV land. How's everyone doing today? Good morning.
Good morning.
Bella's had quite a morning already. And we are out here with the birds, enjoying the morning view here at easy, breezy, beautiful Lake Mead, Nevada. The largest reservoir in the United States. Formed by the damming of the Colorado River just below the Grand Canyon. Beautiful morning out here. Outstanding spring day. Perfect. Just a little bit windy, as you can see. We're getting some white caps here out on the water this morning. And the birds don't seem to be minding at all. We used to use this tire for reference to check the water level. And now it's become filled with sediment there. And the ducks are using it like a little perch. Isn't that nice? We are back here at Lake Mead. Good morning, Mrs. Mojo.
Good morning.
What are you out here to do today?
We're picking up trash.
Area beautification, that's right. We'd like to welcome everyone to the second Trash Talk down at Lake Mead at the Trash Talk. When the water recedes at the Trash Talk.
Be careful, it's slick right there.
Finding bottles and cans at the Trash Talk. And chatting with our fans at the Trash Talk. Trash Talk. Yeah. Let's get started. What do you say? Enough horsing around. We're here for a volunteer date again. We're going to come down here, pick up some trash, take a look at the water line, update on the water levels, hang out with the birds a little bit. Just enjoy this beautiful sunny day. Maybe take some questions and answers. And then we're packing up and heading back. It's about as perfect as it can be out here. Beautiful desert spring day. Feels like San Diego today. Got that nice haze in the sky, warm weather, little humidity, nice breeze coming in. Couldn't ask for more. Just maybe a little bit more water in here, you know? And we are down here at Boulder Harbor. And if you can see the very tip of this hill right here, you'll be able to see where the water level once was. And now we're standing down here basically at the bottom of the dry lake floor. And the water's barely coming in Boulder Harbor anymore. But what's really interesting is since our last update, the water level has gone down very slightly, under a foot. It dropped under a foot. But just because it had dropped that little amount, it was enough for Boulder Harbor here to start emptying out. And I'm going to show you that in a minute once we start picking up and walking towards that way.
You can see the boat though, out by the buoy. It's
yeah, way out there is candy blue. So let's get started on some trash pickup. What do you say, Miss Mojo?
Sounds groovy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, it's nice out here today, isn't it? What do you think, Bella?
She needs her sunglasses.
What do
her
you say?
Goggles.
You want to go swimming today? No, not yet. Not feeling it today.
It's probably icy.
She does like the ducks, though, that's for sure.
Yes.
So as you can see where we're at right now, this all used to be underwater. So we like to come down here and pick up trash. You can see here's a piece already. We're down here volunteering today. And of course, like always, the day we decide to come down here, it's windy as all heck. You can tell, look at how rough the lake gets out there. Can you start to see those white caps? And that's why people sometimes get into trouble when they come out here to recreate on the lake, especially people from outside of the area of the Southwest Desert, because they don't realize when the winds kick up here how brutal it can be. And the wind right now actually isn't that bad. It looks like it's kicking up pretty good, but this is actually pretty docile for Lake Mead. Oh, see, as I say that, now look, all our stuff blowing away. But yeah, the wind can get really bad here, and sometimes it even looks like an ocean. It's pretty crazy. Beautiful day, though. What do you say we get started?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
There's a little gadgets back there, so we'll grab those.
Yeah, we're going to go right back here in the brush. You can see on this side too, way up here. Let me see if I can get my fat digit in there. There it is. Way up here is where the water level used to be at, where that dark area. And you can see all the way down. We're probably about 120 feet down. It's receded all the way down. And you can see if I look this way, you can see where the water level is now in comparison. So there's our high spot over here. And then here's where we're at now. So you can see visually how much this water level has dropped since the 80s and 90s. And this year it doesn't look like we're going to actually be able to pick up the water level at all. Snowpack's not looking that great. Not that it's looking bad, it's just not looking outstanding like we had last year when the floods came and Hurricane Hillary and all that. Doesn't look like we're going to get that again this year. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed that we don't lose too much water. We are on the way down right now, and I'm going to pop up the water level at the end before I run out of battery in 20 or 30 minutes. We're going to pick up some trash, and then at the end I'll go over the water level, but not much going on, honestly, since our last update. Pretty much the same. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday morning. And it's actually looking fairly clean down here today. So here's where we're at now, and at the beginning of the stream here, I was pointing out right where my trash stick is here. There's where our high water level was here in Boulder Harbor. And you can see over the years, all of the sedimentation and the mineralization deposit here as the water receded, and now we're way down here. And this is probably about, what do you think, Miss Mojo, 100 feet?
Yeah.
Probably about 100, 120 feet of water loss right here. And pretty much since I can remember being down here, it hasn't really been much higher. When I first came down here was maybe at this first cut, because the water was going all the way in here, in between the saddle, and it was filling Boulder Harbor. We're going to take you in there in just a little bit. But when I first came out here, about 15 years ago, it was up to that level, and now it's come all the way down here. So now Boulder Harbor doesn't really even fill anymore. And it is a little windy today, like always, so what can you expect on a trash talk, right? Teamwork makes the dream work.
I don't even know what that
Good job,
contraption
Miss
is.
Mojo.
High five with the clippers. I don't know what these are called.
I'm going to take them down here to the tire, and then I'll get on it. I won't do it like last trash talk where I made you pick everything up and carry Bella around. And then I just went off on a tangent chatting. So I'm going to come up here, right here, and show you this large tire. If you can see that directly into the center of the screen right here. You see that tire? That's one of those huge construction tires that they put out here for the marina back in the day. And later on, in a while, when I edit this video, I'll be able to pop a picture up right here, and I'll be able to show you that. And you can see the tire in our old video will be completely out of water here. And we were walking up to it and pulling trash out of here, and the water was down past this other buoy, actually.
Yeah.
So the water has come up quite a bit since 2022.
Yes, it has.
It's just, we got that one good boost in 2024. And then, we were hoping for more, and it just didn't materialize. And so it's looking like the same this year. So this will be a good reference here. We'll remember this construction tire. And it did disappear for a little while, but now it's back above water. And we are doing another volunteer pickup day today here at Lake Mead. I'm glad to see that it doesn't really look that bad down here.
There's some cans over here. It gets stuck in the brush.
All right. I'm going to check in the comments here.
Okay.
Beautiful day, a little windy today. And we're getting some white caps on the water here.
Let me stop. Oh, there's that thing.
Isn't it peaceful down here?
Ew.
I'm not sure if that wind is ruining the audio here, but I'm trying to hide in the shade every now and then and hide in the salt cedars here. Look at this beautiful view. And it is heating up down here, huh?
Feels good.
Yep, supposed to get up around 76 today. So we are enjoying this while we can before it gets up around 100. And if you can, folks, take a look at these cuts. I'm closer to that hill now. Can you see these water cuts? It's really steep. So for instance, you can see here's a ledge right here. And then it's a steep drop. Bam, right down to here. That's about 5 feet. So at one point, that's how fast the water receded. It was way up here, and they were letting it out, and then it stopped, and it made another cut down here. But it's like that all the way up the hill. And this is how you can kind of judge how fast the water recedes, by the slope of the hill here. Because when the water laps these, it'll lap it, wash it away, and then they'll release it, lap it down here, do the same thing. And this is all like shale. This is really interesting, but I've climbed up there before to the flagpole, and it's very loose. It's kind of tough, so. We're way down here where the water is. Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
Ready to get rowdy? Let's go find some garbage.
All right.
Back in that little cove there?
Yeah.
All right.
There's a bunch over here.
Rock and roll. And I'm going to figure out how to pop the chat up on the screen here so I can read your comments.
I think Dawn jumped in the chat. Hello, Dawn.
You saw Dawn come in?
Yeah, Dawn jumped in.
Yeah, Dawn, I'm right there with you, especially if next summer the water level dropped again and it went down below 1,040 feet. That would be the time to be looking for stuff. Someone lost their tiki cup.
Oh, no. Sometimes we find like the weirdest stuff when we do our annual pickups. Like, it's some crazy stuff you find down here.
Hold on, Dawn. Let me see if I could, oh, she's picking up. I'm going to see if I can put the chat up on the screen. Okay, it should come up in a minute, I'm hoping. Let's get back to the trash pickup. I get distracted out here. How's your Sunday going, Dawn? You having a good day so far? We got up late.
Out.
I remember, I think you tried to tune into the first trash talk, and we started it way up there.
We had no cell service.
Boulder Harbor, and for some reason inside the harbor you don't have cell service, but if you come down through the channel out by the water, you have plenty of service down here. And Mrs. Mojo says she swears it's because of the water.
No, I said it's because of the mountains blocking the signal.
I thought it was because of the water.
I don't know, though.
You know, the water acts as like a big antenna or broadcast signal. Helps you get that little bit of extra oomph. There we go.
It's really stuck on that one.
There we go.
Sorry, Bella, you're like upside down right now.
Yeah, Bella's along for a ride. Oh, yeah, she didn't like that.
She's just enjoying it.
We had her out walking around a little bit, and now she's getting overheated because once the sun finally comes out. And we almost got one full bucket down here already.
Yeah. It's just random things like in the brush. Last time it was actually pretty picked up too. So that's good. They're actually having a volunteer pickup, I think in the next coming weeks, probably for Earth Day, I believe. It's part of the volunteer group, but they are extending it to the public, which is cool. So it's going to be ready for summer.
That used to be my jam right there, the Guinness. Whoo, boy, I used to love those things.
Yeah, we should do a tally of what's the favorite drink of Lake Mead. I think we talked about that at one point.
Yeah, it was Bud Light and Twisted Tea and Corona.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to take you over here and show you something cool, though. I'm going to show you how Boulder Harbor is emptying back out now, like as we speak, because the water level's going down. It's starting to empty out, and you can actually see the water leaving.
Glow stick. Somebody was raving it up in Lake Mead.
Oh no, someone lost their teddy bear.
Oh no, that makes me sad. Somebody's teddy.
I wonder if it flew off the boat.
Probably.
Oh, he's all wet. I mean, he's in pretty good shape too. That's sad.
We're gonna have to take him upstairs. We'll carry him up for somebody.
Sorry, little guy. He had a boating accident.
Oh no, you gotta wear a life vest next time.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh.
Come on.
Poor little cutie.
What started as a fun day at the lake
ended up in a
Turned
little bit
into
of
a
a
wet,
mess.
soggy bear. Bella, no, she thought it was her baby.
We'll go take it to the dock in case somebody recognizes him.
Check this out, right up this way. Okay, now you can see it. There's Boulder Harbor. Okay, and now you see all the people parked. There's a lot of people fishing down here this morning. It's perfect. Right there's the old boat launch. See how far away that is? It used to come all the way down and used to drop in the water way up here. And now the harbor here, the water, because the water level is dropping in the main part of Lake Mead here. Now that that water level is dropping, the harbor's trying to equalize, so the water's leaving again now, unfortunately. And you can see someone dammed it up right here. And now check it out. I think they did this to try and stop the fish from getting in here, because the first time all the fish went in here and bred and whatever and made their habitats, and then the water level dropped and they all perished. So it looks like someone had came and built this to stop that from happening again. You can see if I get down close here, the water level is actually leaving. I mean, I'm sorry, not the level. The water itself is actually leaving and the level is dropping in Boulder Harbor. If I show it here, you can see the water is actually leaving, coming out of Boulder Harbor. So it looks like that we're going to trend downwards again, and this is probably going to drop in Boulder Harbor. And when I looked at the water level today, there's actually 1,066 feet again. So the same exact level from the last update. So that's because it's starting to trend downwards. We went over a little hump in the water level where we went up and up, and then we hit a crest.
Ooh.
Oh, there we were just talking about Modelo, number 2 beer. Yeah, and the water level crested about 1067, and then after that it started heading back down, and now we're at 1066 again. And so you can see how once the main body of water here starts dropping, here we go, here's a good visual. Once that main body of Lake Mead starts dropping, here goes the water leaving Boulder Harbor again. Yep, and so we haven't even started the hot part of the year or anything, so I'm going to have to guess that this is probably going to drop again, and this might end up drying up. You can see there's the proper part of the harbor, which was usually filled. And then if we look over this way, where I'm standing way at the top there, that's the dark spot where the water level used to come up to. So we would have been well underwater. You can see how far down it is from here, all the way down to Boulder Harbor here, which is starting to dry up. So it looks like we're going to lose more. And there's another good visual on this side. You can see how far it's dropped since the 80s and 90s. So it looks like we're going to be trending downwards. I can tell you that just by looking at the flow of this water right here. Boulder Harbor is currently emptying back out into Lake Mead, and they are currently sending Lake Mead downstream because the demand is going to pick up in Arizona and California. And like Ben Duck mentioned, there's a lot of changes happening right now, so it's hard to tell what's actually going to happen with the water and the reservoirs this year. We're going to kind of have to just wait and see how things play out at this point. We got any birders in the group here? What kind of bird is that? Those are pretty, huh?
Oh, yeah, they're little.
Yeah. Little mud skippers hanging out in the mud. And I don't know if you can see out there, but we're getting a little bit of white caps there on the water. Isn't that something? It gets rough out here in Lake Mead, like a huge bathtub. I can hear you, Dawn. Thank you. I appreciate that. Drying up already. Yeah, Boulder Harbor, the little harbor here. Just a little harbor because the water's leaving here. And there is quite a bit of water in there still, but it's nothing to like what it used to be. So I guess it's not really that dramatic that it's emptying again. We were kind of going to expect that if the water level didn't go back up, but
it'd be nice if it's up there.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was up there, because then we could still bring the kayak out through here.
We could float on down the little river. Yeah,
because this is a really nice ride.
It's not a river, but an inlet.
Like a lazy river, yep. Let's head on back through the brush a little bit over here, and then we're going to walk back. So this is a good time to go through here and get all this stuff out before it gets all overburdened in here. It's not too bad, you know. I'm feeling optimistic.
Uh-oh. Did they just get stuck in the bush?
Yeah, we'll have to go back for the other
bucket already.
Bucket soon, yeah. Well, I need an assist. Oh, yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, look at this. This is a fine tumbleweed if I've ever seen one.
That's a big sucker.
Look at that puppy.
He's really in there.
All right, so let me show you what's left of Boulder Harbor now. Sometimes my signal gets lost when I start walking back in between these hills, so bear with me if I start blanking out. And this is where we used to take our kayak out, right through this channel here. You can tell that ain't happening now. Well, you might make it. If you're lightweight and you don't mind some scraping, you might make it through this little channel. But yeah, you can tell there's just a little bit of a stream flowing in here, and it's coming down. And then, like I showed you a minute ago, it's going out past the... It's kind of leaving here. And Lake Mead proper here is a little bit lower, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet lower than the Boulder Harbor Dam here. So it's all flowing out of Boulder Harbor and leaving again. And we're going to hope that the harbor itself in here, you can see the body of water, we're going to hope that that itself doesn't dry all the way up again. I don't anticipate that happening, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes you don't even need water anywhere near this inlet here because, you know, Lake Mead is so massive, it'll infiltrate under here and actually soak the ground, and it'll fill the harbor without there being any water in here at all. So works in mysterious ways here. Some areas will be dry, and then further inland you'll have like a little pond. So that's just what you get with having such a massive body of water. And there really hasn't been much rain at all this season, so we're about to kick right into spring. And April 1st, an important date to mention for anyone watching, because April 1st is basically the agreed upon peak snowpack day. So that's when the meteorologists and the folks who study the snowpack, they generally agree that April 1st will be the highest day of snowpack for the upper Colorado, I believe it is. And we're rapidly approaching, and down here you can see there's no semblance of any storms or weather. And up in the Colorado, I heard that they're a bit below average right now on the snowpack. And so we were just, like I mentioned last video, we were just hoping that we were going to get a big event between now and the start of spring, but it's not looking like that's going to happen, folks. So it looks like we're just going to be below average this year, just slightly, not terrible or anything, not like terribly below average, and we're going to lose all that water and get crazy. That might be next summer. But this year, yeah, it's just looking a little under average. Lake Mead, I would say we're going to go down again a bit, but hopefully not to anywhere critical. And then we're all just going to hope when this next winter comes this year, we're going to get a big boost again and maybe fill up some of this empty space. You can see how much space we have at Lake Mead right now. And also upstream at Lake Powell, that direction, Lake Powell is currently on a downtrend too. And that's because it's trying to maintain Lake Mead, but because Lake Mead is releasing water also, Lake Mead is on a downtrend. So they're both emptying their reserves right now as we head into summer, which is normal. And usually on the graphs, I'll pop it up when I edit the video, usually on the graphs you'd see about this time of year, we'd be expecting that nice boost of water from the winter snowpack. And we're going to have to see if that's going to materialize this year. But when I show the graph, you'll see that our line this year is looking pretty much the same as last year. So nothing really drastic, kind of just biding our time, seeing what's happening with all these water changes, with the administration changes, seeing what's happening with the weather, see what's happening with the river compact coming up. And then, it's going to be a tumultuous few years, and then we're going to have to see where all the chips land with this water stuff, because right now it's just hard to tell what's going on. Luckily, we got that big boost last year, so that helped us out. That gave us a little bit of time. But if we don't get stuff together here and we don't get another boost like that, we're out of time and out of luck. It's just going to start going down again. But there have been big changes with the other states leaving their water allocations. And another big announcement was that the Navajo tribe was finally granted water rights, finally, after all this time from Lake Powell. which ruined basically their native homelands when Glen Canyon was flooded, and they were promised water and never got it. And so finally, just finally, recently, the Navajo got a formal agreement to an allocation of water from Lake Powell. So that's great news for them. They should have had that allocation in writing from the start, but we all know how the government does things. So they were cut out of that, finally made right, finally made partially whole, now that it makes up for all the years that all the places they lived were flooded and they really didn't get restitution. But that's good news, because that's one huge part of the river puzzle that needed to be addressed. And it seems like the USBR are just focused on, you know, Arizona, California, Nevada. They don't really focus on Mexico or the Navajo or any of that. So that's good to see those changes this year. And I also saw that Martina from Baja mentioned that the U.S. had cut off the supply of water to Baja, California, apparently. So I'm going to have to read more on that, because that's interesting too. That would help Lake Mead, obviously, but that would not be good for Baja, because they rely a lot on this Colorado River water coming right here out of Lake Mead, folks. That's right. What you're seeing right here, leaving Boulder Harbor, going out to Lake Mead, going down past the Hoover Dam, down to Colorado. It's going all the way down to Baja, Mexico, and they're getting a cut of this water also. So a lot of folks don't realize that. There's a lot of puzzle pieces in this water supply problem. And so it's good to see that the Navajo situation addressed, and hopefully all the players are going to get at the table, and maybe for once everyone can agree. I know there'd be some hard recessions for some folks, but if we don't agree, it's just going to continue what we're seeing here, which is down and down and down and down. And unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Las Vegas is not going to be the first one to lose their water supply. It's going to be everyone downstream, because underneath here, our intake pipe is at a lower elevation than the Hoover Dam output. So the Hoover Dam output, once the Hoover Dam loses its flow, we're still able to get water, but people downstream won't be able to. So a lot of folks think the situation doesn't affect them, but now you're seeing, even down in Baja, Mexico, this water we're seeing right here affecting millions of people, even outside the country. So hoping we can all get it together, folks. Oh, and Bella got caught at the
She was too
Boulder
hot in
Harbor
her
Dam.
backpack.
Yep. She hasn't had to navigate a dam like this before.
Oh, she's a billy goat. Okay, Pumpkin, we'll go around this way.
Take me to the river.
There you go.
Drop me in the water. Did you find anything good? You say hi to your ducky friends today?
She was sleeping
What do you
most of the
think, folks?
ride.
She doesn't look very happy to be out here. We drug her out of doggy bed. She was having her morning nap, so.
Yeah, she had her morning breakfast, and then she had her little sleepies, and then she got rude awakening saying, I have to get in the Jeep now.
Yeah, and Bella also says she doesn't work on Sunday, so
Yeah.
this is violating her union contract. That's right.
Let's go back over this way, baby.
Yeah, we were going to try and schedule it earlier, but some things came up this weekend, and I didn't know if we were going to make it down here. So last minute, we decided to come on down here because, like some of you saw in the last stream, we're going to be headed up to do some rural Nevada history hunting.
Woohoo!
Document some living ghost towns. Yep. And we're going to try and bring you along for some of those live streams too. So hopefully some of you like some history, like some small towns.
Sega.
What is that?
Hedgehog. Flipper.
Oh, flip-flop. Yeah, you definitely don't want to come down to the lake and flip-flop, folks.
There's a lot of pokies down here.
Yeah, and it's getting muddy here. You can see that's from me and my boot. And this just turns into like a sand slush pit once it gets
it's a
wet.
sink pit, really.
We got a full bucket already, so we're going to have to start heading back. We're going to fill up our other one. We're going to start heading back into the harbor to put it in a bag and get ready to clean up the inner part of the harbor. That's usually where most of the trash is right there at the launch ramp where people get out and, oh, look at the water, let's have a drink. And then they just leave their trash there. But more of the trash down here is from washing up, I think. And that's why we come down once the water starts going down. But it's a lovely day. And check out those duckies sitting on that old tire. And that's where I found in one of the first boat wreck videos, I was pulling a bunch of trash out of there. People were putting their lawn chairs and old fishing rods in there. Actually found a nice rod in there. But now you can see it's underwater, so we're not getting to it. The ducks are loving it. But that tire right there is a very good marker for what the water level is doing here. Heck no, welcome to Adventure Club. Awesome. Oh, I just got an alert here.
Look at that.
Good to see you, Heck no. Hey, thank you, Heck no. I appreciate it. You've been around for a lot of the live streams. Thank you for that support.
Yeah, we love to hang out with you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. YouTube has been kind of rough over the last year or so, and I lost a lot of time to edit videos. So we're finding that doing live streams are a lot easier and less intensive, and because of that, it allows us to get on here a lot more often. So whenever we see folks like Dawn and Heck no and Sammy Head, and who else am I missing? Steve.
Yep.
And Mr. Coco. I'm sure I'm missing someone. But all of you folks, we love it when you come in and just say hi, you know. Even if you join the Adventure Club, that's awesome. We appreciate that. Welcome, Heck no. Good to see you this morning. We're actually getting close to finishing up our cleanup out here towards the water. We have our third member. Yeah, there's Dawn. Welcome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dawn's like our little cheerleader. I love her.
Yeah. Got it.
It
Love
makes
your
it fun.
content. Thank you, Heck no. I appreciate that. Thank you for the feedback. That means a lot. A lot of times the only thing we have to go off of is what YouTube is telling us, which is the analytics, like, you know, how many people watch the video and like it.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't do good, it can get really discouraging on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they stop recommending your content, you know, like you feel like you did something wrong, maybe your content's not good enough. But that's why we're glad. I don't care if I had 18 subscribers or whatever we have, 18,000. I don't really care as long as we have the Adventure Club.
Yeah, they're fun.
That's what I told Miss Mojo. So thank you, Heck no.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, because it seems like YouTube, you ride the wave for a little bit and then you leave the wave and it feels like you're just left behind. And I told Miss Mojo, I don't care about that anymore because we got the Adventure Club going. That's right.
And they're cool.
Yep. So we come out here and stream for you folks too. And we like chatting with you.
You get to come out and do our volunteer work with us.
Yep.
At least the 1 hour for it.
Yeah,
we have to come out every 4 times a year and you have to do 2 hours. So you get to experience an hour, but we have to do another hour after we hang up.
Yep. Let's fill up some of this one.
We got another 5-gallon bucket on deck.
We got one more empty bucket here. Yep. We try and fill these 2 up and then we're going to have to walk them all the way back there. And then we'll clean up the proper part of the harbor up in there. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. Couldn't get really much better out here. So what do you think? Is there some more trash up here? Or should we start heading back up?
There is a couple over here in the bushes. We just got to clean up that stuff and then we can walk back and grab the stuff that we missed when we were walking out this way.
Yep, here's some right here already.
Because they were stuffed by the dock.
Yeah, and like I always mention, if there's something you folks at home want to see that pertains to Lake Mead or the Las Vegas area, you know, minus the strip, because we have plenty enough strip influencers here in Las Vegas. Oh, yeah. So we kind of avoid that. But, you know, if there's anything you want to see down here around Lake Mead, maybe a hike, maybe you want to see some part of the Hoover Dam, maybe the boat marina, I don't know. But whatever you want to see, you can let us know and we'll try and make it happen. I got some big stuff planned. Some adventures inside Lake Mead pertaining to some history that doesn't have to do with the lake itself that I'm going to be covering in the future. But other than that, you know, sometimes it can get kind of mundane coming down here time after time if the water level doesn't change much. And that's what's going on right now. We're actually at 1,066 feet. And that's come down not even a foot from last report. We're at 1,067 foot. So we only lost about a foot from last time. We're trending downwards right now, and that's going to keep happening through the summer. Probably until about the fall time. That's about usually when it happens on the graph. And then hopefully then the water use will die down and Lake Mead will even out, and it'll await the coming snowmelt in winter 2025.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that. But as far as the water levels, not much happening down here, folks.
Bella's being the lazy daisy.
All right, we're going to start heading back in the harbor now. Do we look good out here with the trash wise?
Yeah, we got one 5-gallon bucket overflowing. So that's good news.
There we go. Mrs. Mojo is man in the comments here, getting everything loaded up. We have our little gear kit here, and we're going to start heading back up into the harbor here. We're going to pick up some trash along the way. Hopefully I don't lose you folks. Stay tuned.
Okay, Pumpkin, you want to go back? Got it.
Yep, thank you.
We're going to go back, Bella, okay?
All right.
She's tired.
So
She's ready
load
for
it
her
up.
nap. Nap time.
You're doing
for
good, Bella. The Park Service thanks you for your volunteer
service.
duty.
They should just give her a pin, too. She's out here every time with us.
Yeah, Bella is a certified bark ranger. She got certified as a bark ranger at Petrified Forest National Park.
She's done her duties.
Yep, and hey, if you don't know, folks, you can actually get, if you come here and you have your pet with you, you can get them bark ranger badge and gear at the Lake Mead Visitor Center, at Allen Bible Visitor Center, right down there in Boulder City. They have bark ranger stuff now. So
It's cute. They have tags. You can collect from all the dog national park friendly ones. They have a map online. So if you guys any fur families, it's a fun little task to bring your little friend out.
There's Teddy.
There's Teddy the mask.
Here we are. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I was pointing out when it looks like I was just doing sign language was that before that blue truck was leaving the ramp here, and I was trying to point out that this is actually the lower ramp. Up top of this, there was the original ramp, so this isn't even the original one. So where you had seen that truck driving up before, that blue pickup, he actually went over the ridge here, which is what I was pointing out. And then right over here is the original ramp, which keeps going up. So when the water level started receding down here, that original ramp actually went out of service too. And so they made this one, which was the secondary ramp, and that came all the way down. And then when this had gone dry at 1,040 feet, the Park Service had moved those stanchions right there so people could drive down the ramp and then just continue here. And we were actually driving all the way out the bay, out to Lake Mead out here. And that's what everyone was doing, because you can see what kind of a walk it would be to get out here from, you know, way back at the ramp. So everyone was driving up here and fishing. And now they've closed it off again, obviously, because the water level came back up. So they don't want anyone driving out here again. And you can see if I get close here, you can see right now the water is actually leaving. It's on its way out. And that's because Lake Mead proper out there has dropped about another foot, and it's dropped just enough for the lake level itself to go below this harbor level. So now this harbor is emptying out. All the water is leaving. All right, I hope you could hear that explanation this time. Sorry about the sign language. And one more thing up on here for everyone who's still with us, because my cell phone is starting to lose battery. That's why it's flickering like that. Yeah, so let me pop up my sign here. Thank you to the Adventure Club members, Dawn R., Sammy Head, and our newest member, the third ranking member, Heck No. Welcome to the Adventure Club. And our Super Thanks members, Sammy Head, Dawn up there again, Heck No, right up there with them. Steve Alker coming in today. We didn't see him today, but thank you, Steve. Appreciate all you. Miss Mojo, do you have anything to say?
Nothing at all. No, just a lot of cool things coming up, and we're excited to take you along. So we'll see you in a couple weeks, I'm sure, with all the fun stuff to come. So
rock and roll.
Happy spring.
Happy spring. That's right. Coming up. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the Sunday. And Heck No, we'll get you on that sign too. Don't worry. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful day. See you next time, Mojo Adventures.